Okay, my microphone. My microphone is way over here. Okay, my microphone. My microphone is way over here. All right, so hey, hi. Another Saturday night in the studio. Another Saturday night in the studio. Sorry for the echo. I just muted that. I'm working on another project. It's another whole cloth. Right here is the one I did last Saturday. I will show that to you. It's finished. And the event that it's for went public yesterday. So I did a couple of posts on social media. Hopefully you've seen those. I want to say a thank you to the library lady. Let's see. She left a comment from Saturday's live, last Saturday's, and it's the library lady. She said she liked the video, but she couldn't see what I was doing. And I mentioned that this is more about just me in my studio behind the scenes, watching me work. It's not really a learning or teaching live session. She wanted to see what I was doing up close. And so, because of your encouragement, library lady, I decided to get another camera and set that up. And now you can see there's a tight shot of me stitching. So everyone, please thank the library lady that gave me a little encouragement to get a second camera. Thankfully, I had all the parts. I had to borrow some cameras and cords from Studio A and bring it over here to Studio B to do that. So, which means if I'm going to do this on a regular basis, I'm going to have to buy some more cords. I'm not going to buy another camera. I'll just switch the camera from one studio to the next, but like I like to have what I need in one space so that all I have to do is basically turn on the lights, if that makes sense, rather than setting up each and every time. That just takes a lot of time. I'd rather spend time stitching and chatting with you. So let's see. This is an unannounced live session. And I've been working today on Stitch in the Ditch. So that's what I'm doing. I'm almost finished stitching in the ditch. And, stitching in the ditch does take practice. If you're new to the STITCHLINE Ruler and using a channel, and if you haven't practiced in a while, excuse me, this is where accuracy matters in terms of your needle position as you stitch in the ditch, because you can go off one or two stitches and you're no longer in the ditch. So some of these lines are a little wobbly. Some of them are not in the ditch, but I'm okay with that. I'm just going to keep practicing. And I've had a lot of time to practice getting the stitching right. So that's what I've been up to today. And this is all just preparation for how I'm going to ultimately quilt the whole panel. It's a yard of fabric, and I'm using the crosshairs to help me with my ditch work. And there's a center line right here that I can use to help me with accurate placement. And after a while, you kind of learn which lines on the rulers work for stitch in the ditch. And also, this is brand new. I didn't mention this. I have a laser light. I installed a laser light on my Bernina sit down. And it's right where the needle is. And it has several features, and I'll share a video on it a little bit later. So there's on and off, and then there's automatic. So when you start stitching, the laser light goes off, and then as soon as the needle goes down and the foot stops, then the laser light is on. So the needle's down and the foot's down, and I can see exactly where the needle position is. I just installed it like 2 weeks ago, so it's still new to me, and I'm still learning how to use it. But I like this feature. So let me get to some stitching here. So when I stop, I can see the laser light and I can see if the needle's in the right position. And I have one stitch more to go. And then I'm checking lines here. And I can check a diagonal line. Since this is a panel, it's pieced perfectly, right? So that means all my ruler reference lines are lining up with the pseudo seams, which is the change of one color to the next. And if my needle's in the right position, all these should work and my needle should stop where it needs to. So when it doesn't stitch that way, that tells me that the needle wasn't in the right position. So anyway, or the ruler. Let me know how the second camera is working. The lighting is a little tricky because this is like a really basic studio lighting. I might improve it over time. It just depends. So I'm using only one studio light beside the room light. And it's really not sufficient for me and the machine. And yeah, there's so many technical issues when it comes to going live. Um, the machine lights also, I have to dim those by putting some tape underneath here and some tape underneath the other. That's why if I had all the lights on, this would be just a white blob. It would be too bright. So you have to do a lot of things for the lighting. Yeah, it seems easy when you watch. Oh, great, she's going live. Yeah. It's not just me, it's anyone out there going live. You know, if you watch anyone else here on YouTube and they're going live, it takes effort. So give it a thumbs up. Give them thank you very much, just like Library Lady did. I appreciate her taking time to comment. I did an episode of Quilt Conversations live, I think about a year ago, maybe more, about the cost of quilting. And I think it has to do with this idea that those who make videos, who make patterns, and the community, quilting community, we love free stuff, me included, love free stuff. But sometimes there's an expectation that things should be free when really nothing is free. Right now, you're watching me here, and yeah, YouTube, it's free. We don't have to pay for YouTube. As a teacher and educator, I'm thankful that I can put videos here on YouTube. And how YouTube makes money is by ads, right? By them charging advertisers to do ads in between videos. That's allowing me to make videos on YouTube and share them with you. So that's how YouTube gets paid. Now, me and other YouTubers, we need to buy cameras and streaming gear and streaming apps and all the stuff that goes with it, microphones. So there is a cost, even though for the creator, for the teacher, for the YouTuber. So when a YouTuber says, "Hey, this costs $5 or $10," and then people get upset or even more, just think about all the hundreds of videos that you've watched and enjoyed and learned from for free. So you know what I do sometimes when I'm searching? Like today, I was searching for how to replace the trim on my Honda CRV. It's a old car. It's 2009. I love her. Her name is Grace. And all I did was put in the YouTube search, you know, 2009 Honda CRV, a window trim, how to replace, and there's a ton of videos. So when I find a video that solves my problem, that helps me, I watch the commercials. I watch the ads because I know that that creator who took time to make that video that's helping me, that they're going to earn a little bit of affiliate commission from the ad. And the more I watch of it, the more they earned. And that's my way of saying thank you for taking time to make the video so I can save a couple of $100 instead of the dealer charging me $300 to change the trim. I'm going to figure out how to do it myself or ask a friend to help me out that has a little bit more mechanical know-how than me. All right, right now I'm trying to bring up and it's not happening. So I am going to go to the back, bring out the bobbin thread. I want to just fix that before I continue. So anyway, that's my little public service announcement. So anyway, I had fun finishing Color Burst, and I always have a hard time figuring out names for quilts. Do you name your quilts? The other thing I need to do is make some quilt labels. I am behind in making quilt labels and attaching them. Sometimes I make them and then I don't get around to attaching them. All right, here she is, finally. Here we go. If you haven't seen my video on how to knot and bury threads, check it out on my on my page, my YouTube channel page, Living Water Quilter, and then do a search on the channel page and just put in bury threads, something like that. I think that's what it is. And I show you step by step how to knot and bury threads so you have a nice clean finish. Okay. So in this particular design, there was challenges getting around without um, having to stop and break thread. I didn't really want to do a lot of backtracking to get around because the thread would build up too quickly. So I have some isolated spots where I need to just do a quick stitch around and then I'll have to bury the threads, knot and bury the threads. I think I have, that was one. I think I have maybe one or two more left. Let's see. They're along the perimeter. Oh, I have more than two. Let's see. I need to go along this side, this side, this side, this side. Okay, so from here, I'll start over here. So the laser light, I can't see the dot until I lower the foot. And once I lower the foot, then I can see the laser light, which is pretty cool. Okay. So again, I'm using the reference lines on the ruler to help me with my placement. And what I love about my STITCHLINE Ruler is that we have these horizontal lines or perpendicular to the channel that I can use to match up with seams. So I can do a check with a horizontal line and with a vertical line or the ditch line. And as long as my needle's in the right spot, I should land right in the ditch. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, I was a little too far on that one. Yeah, I'm pretty rusty on the ditch ball. I need practice. Ditching this panel has showed me that I need practice. I need to practice more. And in part, that's why I'm committing when I'm available to do these live sessions, because it means I will have practice. I will get the practice in. All right. So what have you been up to? Leave a comment below if you're not here live. What technique are you learning and or practicing and getting better at when it comes to machine quilting, finishing your quilts? I think there's always, all right, where did it go? Where did I put it? Oh, I dropped it. Here we go. There's always something that we need to practice. Either there's something we're learning, something we're improving, practicing, something we're getting even better at. Maybe it's a design and it's not a technique. Maybe it's not machine quilting. Maybe it's piecing. Like one of my goals, it's been a goal that I keep carrying from one year to the next, is to get better at curves. I haven't pieced any curves recently, but it's on my list to do so. I was thinking about stitching another Pathways quilt, but then making it bigger. But I have all these other projects that keep getting in the way. Yep, keep getting in the way. So sometimes I have a plan for how I'm going to quilt something, and it might be associated with something I'm learning, something I want to practice, something I want to improve, and to try it out, maybe a technique or a pattern in a different part of a quilt, sashing, borders, background, that kind of thing. So a couple of weeks ago on the last Quilt Conversations Live, I talked about the 5-star Rulerwork Quilt Along. If you're new to my channel, go check that out. It's a free Rulerwork Quilt Along. It's a video series. It has a playlist. Again, just go to the Living Water Quilter YouTube channel page, and it's right there on the front page. So anyway, one of the things that I talked about recently at Quilt Conversations Live was a second 5-star quilt panel that I quilted with spirals. So recently I've been doing these square spirals with the STITCHLINE Ruler. And it was the first time that I did it was on a pillow. So then I said, let me do it in the 5-star, and I did that, and I loved it. And it was multiple ways that you can stitch spirals. So I was looking at this while I was doing the ditch work, thinking, how am I going to fill in this area? I know that I want to stitch around the black squares. Then I thought, hey, I can do a square spiral. So that's what I'm going to do. And I noticed that not if, but I'm going to do when I do it. So I'm going to do a ditch around here and then come out a little further to start the square spiral and go around. I think I might be able to go around with a 1/2 inch, maybe twice. So I'm going to give that a go and see if I can get it twice. And what ends up happening is that we'll get points of stitching here. So it's like it's on point. So let's see how that turns out. And then, of course, this will be a square spiral. Again, if you haven't seen that live session, go back. I even did a little clip of it. I took it out of the hour Quilt Conversations Live and made a separate video. So if you want that echo quilting video, the different ways that you can echo quilt, go watch that one. But in it, I talk about how you can do an echo from the outside to the center and from the inside to the outside. So I'm going to use both of those techniques in this one panel. So let's get cracking. Let's see. All right. There we go. Laser light right there in the corner. Needle down, needle up. All right. Hopefully that second camera is working okay. Now, of course, this means that I'm going to do this instead. I will have threads to bury. I'm not a fan of that, but if it's going to get me what I want, then I just buckle down and I just do it. All right, so now I'm going to stitch a 1/4 inch. Am I doing 1/4 inch echo or half? I think 1/4 inch is going to be too tight. Too tight. So I'm going to do a half. If I do a half, I will barely get around twice. Let's see what happens. This is how it goes. And if I don't like it, I'll just take it out. All right, keep going. Keep going, girl. Keep going. 1/2 inch. All right. Half inch. Did I not go far enough? Okay. Maybe I'll do 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch and see the difference. I should take it off the quilt and do it separately, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to keep going. I need 2 more stitches that way. Yeah, it's just 1. It's not even 2 echoes around the square, which is interesting. Okay, 1, 2. The second one goes up there, so I'm going to have to stitch and stitch there. Let's see. All right, so this is what I get. And I'm wondering if I should just stitch in the ditch here, come down, go across, like the squares are kind of behind these. This is how design work works. This is, you just try it, see what happens. All right, so I'm gonna go over. Okay. I think I'm liking it. Surprise, 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 surprise. I'm checking to see if there are any comments. I'm going to adjust the camera just a little bit. Try that a little bit more center. All right, okay. All right, I think I like it. It doesn't have corners, but it does have at least 2 1/2 inch echoes on either side. And the points on this side, and this side, all 4 sides basically, give the illusion that they're behind these strips here. Let's see if I can show that to you. And I am using a blending thread, so let's see. Does that smaller, does that other camera show it? Yeah, see it that way. So there's an echo around the square once and then twice. Yeah, I think I like it. And the stitching over these previous areas, I think it's okay. So I just have to do that how many more times? 1, 2, 3. It's 4 by 4, 16, 15 more times. Is that right? 15 more times? Okay. 4, 8, yep, 15 more times. Let me do this one first because I promised that I wouldn't be online too long. I don't want to be here for a full hour. I'm going to do this echo from the exterior out, going toward the center, from the outside in, put it that way, from the outside in. And then before I go, I'll show you the color burst. That's the name that I gave for the quilt we worked on last week. And that is the quilt that is the star of my lecture for Patchwork Power. It's a new C&T publishing virtual event. They do one about every couple of months, twice or 3 times a year. And it's in July. It's virtual. And I'm going to share how you can be super creative with improv ruler quilting. I want to share some techniques and give some inspiration from Color Burst. Color Burst has all the designs and techniques that I'll talk about in the lecture. So if you don't know about it, check the description box below for a link. I'll put it there. And also there's a video. Again, just go to the Living Water Quilter YouTube channel. And I just uploaded a video a couple of days ago about color burst, the lecture, the things you're going to learn. Yeah, take a look. I need 1/2 inch. These threads getting in the way. Oops, did I go too far? Nope, didn't go far enough. And I love using rulers where I don't have to mark to stitch. All right. Ta-da! Done, done, done. So this turned out pretty cool. I like both of them. I like the way those turned out. So here we have a spiral that was stitched from the outside perimeter toward the center. And then this one was stitched from the center all the way out. But because we ran out of space, we need to stitch in the ditch to get to the next one, which I don't mind because it gives the illusion that they are behind these bands of color. So spiral from the outside in and spiral from the inside out. And I have many more to do. Okay, as promised, I'll bury those threads later. I'm going to show you the color burst. It's right here. Let's take a look at it. Here she is. And if you have another name that you think that would be better, I like color burst. So tell me what you think. Do you see a different pattern in here that would be a better name for her? All right. Lots of ruler quilting practice in this, lots of improv ruler quilting techniques. You will see it in the video on the YouTube channel where I share some close up of the quilt. So I loved how she turned out. And I went back and forth on the how to finish it on the binding. I was going to go with a binding, and I don't know about you, I have this drawer of bindings that are pre-made, so I'll go through my stash of fabric and I'll look for fabric that I know I purchased with binding in mind, and so I will have a binding session where I make a whole bunch of binding and put it in the drawer so that I have binding ready. So I went through that stash and I didn't find one color combination or pattern that I liked for color burst. So I said, well, I'm going to face it. First, I was going to do a black border because I really wanted the quilting to stand out, right? I want the quilting to stand out. And I didn't want the binding to be a distraction. So that's why I think the colors didn't work um, against the white fabric, because your eye is drawn, I think, to the color, and the white is a background. Once you add another color up here, I felt like it took away from our eyes being drawn to the color in the quilt. So I did facing. Facing. Yep. Facing is a great way to finish a quilt. I still need to stitch this part down. Right now it's temporarily glued down, but it's a wonderful way to finish, right? I just took, I actually, you know what I did? Do you remember Joanne sadly went out of business, and I went to some of their sales on the very last day of the store in my area. They had this bin full of black bias tape, double fold. And I thought, binding, binding, facing, and it is double fold. It's, I think it was 3 inches, so it's a little bit big for my binding. I do a 2-inch strip for my binding, but I thought perfect for facing. So that's what this is. This is bias tape for my facing. Of course, I had to stitch some of them together for the length, but for the most part, with this kind of method, you don't have to do a lot of stitching. If you're going to do a binding, yes, you might have to attach it multiple times for a bigger quilt. But I picked up a stack of those. I think they were like 50 cents or something. So I said, I'm going to do that. And for me, this kind of finish not only looks clean and neat, it's quicker to do than binding and easier to do than binding, at least for me. I love the way it turned out. So there she is, color burst. All right, I'm going to finish this. This is going to be the rest of my Saturday evening. I will see you next Saturday, Lord willing. We will have another opportunity to see how far I've gotten with this. And if you have a name for this quilt, let me know. I haven't named it yet. I love the color. I love the gray and the teal color, and the pattern. I haven't figured out a name. So, hey, wait a minute. There's some people in the chat. I thought I was okay. Hello, Lori. How long you been waiting for me to respond? Sorry about that. Who else is here? Bernita. Hello. Nice to see you, ladies. You like the new quilt? Thank you. Oh, you like the facing. What time on Saturday? Well, I don't know. What time do you like? I forget what time I went live last time. I decided to go around 7 because I knew that maybe 7 p.m. was a better time. Not too late, not too early. What time would you prefer? What about you, Benita? Is that Benita? Yes. And what do you think about the addition of the camera? Library lady sent me a comment about last Saturday. She wanted to see a close up of the stitching. And it's true, this is not a teaching session, but I can see the desire to want to see close up what I'm doing. And so I took the time to set up a second camera. As you can see, I have a second camera set up so you can see me while I'm stitching. Ah, you like the close up. Okay, good. Yeah, lots of challenges with this setup. Even the lighting needs improvement. So I'll get it better as we go along. I have to find my other lights because I'm using only one light beside the room light. And so it's a little bit too dark and it's kind of challenging with keeping the reflection off the ruler, not having too much light. I had to cover, I talked about this in the beginning. I have to cover up the light to see what happens if the light is not covered, but then I can't turn it completely off. I have to have some light there, but I have to tape it. All right, let me show you. If I turn it off completely, it goes too dark. And so that's not good. You can't have that, right? Have to have a little bit of light. So the challenges of live stream. Lots of firsts. I thought I was more. Oh, at first I thought it was a mirror behind your machine. Oh, really? Okay. You like the second camera view? Yes, the challenges. How's your Saturday going? How have you been feeling? Yeah, it's a second camera. I took it off of my other setup in Studio A. This is Studio B. And they say something about friction. If there's too many steps to do things, like I'll watch these videos for recipes for cooking and like blueberry muffins or bread or whatever. And if it's like 15 steps, I move on. I'm not doing all that. Give me 5 steps, 4 ingredients, 3 ingredients. If you say in the beginning of the video, only 3 ingredients, you got my attention. So I try and have the studio set up so that I don't have to do a lot to get started with the live stream. Because if I have to spend 30 minutes just to get the live stream ready, I don't want to do it. Your Saturdays are busy. Good. Ah, I'm making a bunch of burritos. Yummy, yummy. Grab and go. No need to ask me what's for dinner. Like that. I like that. So today I had my driveway sealed. I haven't had it sealed in a couple of years and it was showing its age. Got the cracks filled and driveway sealed. That was the first thing in the morning. And I had to prep that because they use this spray thing. And so I had to tape over some areas so they wouldn't spray over that. 20 burritos? You made 20? What do you put in your burritos? And do you prefer flour or corn tortillas? My favorite is flour tortillas. What did I have for dinner today? I had green beans and steak. Green beans and steak for dinner. Yep, beef, beans, tomatoes, and cheese. Good combination. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to try and keep this short. If you missed the beginning, just come back and watch the replay. And don't forget, I did mention that um, you can sign up and save $20 if you come to Patchwork Power, where I'm going to talk about the ruler quilting and improv specifically for color burst. But you need to put in my code to get the $20, and that's PP for Patchwork Power 26 for the year, and then my name, Geraldine. So it's PP 26 Geraldine, and save 20 bucks. I'll put the link in the description. If you can't find that, you can always go to my website, machinequilting.live, or just go directly to ctpub.com, and you'll find the Patchwork Power event, virtual event. And then put in the coupon code and save 20 bucks. And I hope to see you there. All right. I'll see you at the next Quilt Conversations live or next Saturday. Wait, let me check the calendar. I think I'll be live again before Quilt Conversations live. Let's see. Yeah, so it'll be the 13th. 1, 2. Yeah. So we have another Saturday together. Yay. And I'm going to try 7 p.m. Hopefully that works for a lot of you. All right. Fantastic. Thanks, Lori. You have a great Saturday. And take care, Benita. See you next time. All right. I need to slide over here to get to the. I didn't work this part out. Let's